Today, today the question is, how experienced should my copywriter be? Let's say you're looking for a copywriter in your business, or you're looking to hire someone to write some of your marketing materials. This is going to answer the question of who exactly should I be hiring for what business I am in. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Eric DiGiovanni. I'm the founder and CEO of Diamo. We're a brand copywriting agency. And the reason I'm making this video is if you ever need copywriting, I'm going to convince you to not use me and to use someone else. And if I've convinced you to use me anyway, I'm hoping you'd work with me. So let's get started. So how experienced should my copywriter be? So there's 3 different levels here, and then at the bottom here I have in very sloppy handwriting, because I'm not a handwriting artist, I'm a copywriter. At the bottom here I have voice, audience, and channel, and the reason I have this at the bottom is because this is going to be the most important thing to look for no matter what level your copywriter is at. But these are 3 different tiers of copywriters that you should think about hiring. And so we'll start from left to right here. We'll go from junior all the way to senior. At the left here we have junior, and this is going to be your entry-level copywriter. This is going to be the person that maybe costs $40,000 a year, maybe $2,000 to $4,000 a month if you have them on a retainer like that. This is going to be the person that maybe just got out of college or just worked at a small startup and is looking for their next opportunity. And so what does this person look like? Well, they're going to need a lot of up training. They're going to need some training on your brand's voice or your client's voice. These people you can usually find at like a large agency who maybe an agency is looking for someone to step into a new role and replace a copywriter that's currently in that role. This person is just getting started. They probably don't have a lot of experience on both the brand and direct response side of marketing. They probably only have experience on one side or neither. And usually they are experienced with like one channel and one niche, one audience. So that means that they have experience writing for just emails or just Facebook ads or just billboards or just banners, stuff like this. And usually they only have experience with one audience. So an audience might be job seekers, or an audience might be musicians, or people that watch TV, stuff like this. And this is also a position that might be useful in a very small business that's looking for someone to upskill a copywriter and turn them into like a marketing manager. These people, generally speaking, when they're younger, they're pretty ambitious, so they're very eager to learn. So you don't have to pay them as much, but it will take you a lot more time to train them because they don't have the experience that someone like a mid-level or senior copywriter might have. And speaking of mid-level, let's move on. This person is great if you have a developed voice and tone already in your business. Same with the junior copywriter. You're going to want to make sure that your tone and voice is already developed, already bringing in leads, already converting at a high level. You already have product market fit. This person might help tailor that brand voice a little bit more, and these people usually do well in a variety of situations. They'll do well in an in-house role, meaning they'll work with your brand and your brand only in-house. They'll also do well in a contract, like a month-to-month contract, or even a retainer, or even a full-time contract that you have in-house with them through a staffing agency. And they'll do well in most size agencies because they already know how to work with voice and tone and can usually turn around projects very quickly. On the other hand, a junior copywriter will not be able to turn around your deliverables very quickly, and a lot of times they will require a lot of revisions to get your deliverables correct, whereas a mid-level copywriter should be able to get those deliverables on time or early in a very quick agency setting, and they'll be able to write for specific channels. Now, they might not have experience writing across all channels across the board, but they'll have experience writing for 1 or 2 different channels like email, text messages, landing pages, and they'll have experience writing for 1 or 2 different audiences, generally speaking. A lot of times these people also have experience writing for larger corporations, because corporations a lot of times will hire a mid-level writer and above. A lot of times big companies will skip the junior level and just go straight to mid-level unless they are an agency. And now that's not always the case, but that's something that I've seen anecdotally. And like I said, I just want to remind you, the bottom 3 here are the most important thing to look for. So voice, audience, and channel. If they know your audience's key triggers that make them buy or make them convert, and if they know how you speak on the certain channels that you market on, that is always going to be the biggest determining factor when looking for a copywriter. So all this stuff right here, if you have a junior copywriter who's very, very good with your brand voice, your audience and channel, and you have 2 other copywriters in a mid-level and a senior role that don't know this, you actually might be better off going with the junior copywriter. However, that's usually not the case. Last option we have over here is a senior copywriter. This is going to be the person that designs your brand strategy, tone and voice, and guidelines if you need it in a certain channel. They're also going to be the person that knows at least somewhat of the legal things that might come up when you're writing certain messaging. For example, in corporate, especially with Fortune 500 brands, you're not able to say certain legal jargon that promises a certain result because of lawsuits. At a very high level, copywriting can actually incite some litigation if you say the wrong thing. So you want to make sure that the senior copywriter, a senior copywriter will make sure that your jargon, your vernacular is actually in line with the law. A lot of times they'll have experience with this, and I'm not saying they're a replacement for your legal team, they're definitely not, but they will have insight into legal matters. Additionally, a senior copywriter will also have a ton of experience with strategy, whether that's with design, marketing, or anything creative. Traditionally, these people are right below a creative director or equal to a creative director, and sometimes even above a creative director. Usually they're not, but if a brand is very focused on their writing and that's their primary way of converting, they might actually be above a creative director. And so this is someone who will be able to do all of the brand voice, tone, strategy, and audience building for you. They typically have experience in doing a lot of the deployments, so they'll have experience writing emails and deploying them themselves. They'll have experience with list management. They'll have experience with running Facebook ads campaigns, YouTube ads campaigns, and stuff like this. They'll also a lot of times have experience working with big corporations, and that's because they do know the legal side of copywriting. Additionally, like I said earlier, they will have a ton of experience writing for different types of channels, getting your voice right with the types of audience that you're working with. Some companies have multiple audiences. For example, Amazon has a ton of different audiences that write to. They write to consumers, they write to job seekers, they write to B2B, and they write B2C. And so a senior copywriter will be able to do this. Additionally, they will also be able to transition between brand and direct response copywriting when the time comes for it, and they will know how to or when to use short form versus long form copy. And like I said, the most important determinant factor on who to hire for your copywriter and how experienced they should be is looking for all of this down here on their portfolio, resume, and LinkedIn. And when you're interviewing them, you have to make sure that they have your voice, your audience, and channel in mind, your primary drivers of conversions, and that will decide and determine whether or not your copywriter is the best fit. So that being said, hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next one.
Diamo.